So now let's talk about the right goals for each stage of business growth. There are a lot of people who said that they haven't earned anything yet, but their business is still very new. This will help you if you're one of them. A lot of you might be wondering, okay, but what about me? I have nothing to multiply by 1.5 or 10. It's hard to figure out where to start. We're going to talk about that now. So, there are three main stages of business growth. First, you need to make sure your business idea is a good one. Then, you need to start making money. Is this business idea even possible? What am I trying to sell something people want to buy? And then, after you have proven that your business idea is a good one, you move on to making money. How can I best sell this? And how do I sell it to the general public so that I don't have to talk to each person one-on-one to make a sale? People move on to operational systems after they have learned about them. What I mean is that this is where you build out the inside of your company. You build out your team more so that you don't have to do everything all by yourself, and that you can work less hours if you want so that your company runs more smoothly. We'll talk more about each of these instruments, but I just want to give you the big picture. So let's look at these different stages. Exactly what does that mean? I'm going to talk more about what indicates each of these stages to help you better understand exactly where you're at right now. We're also going to talk about specific goals that I would recommend for your business if you're in each of these stages, and just what you should be focusing on. The first stage is the validation stage. When you start the validation stage, the big question you want to know is that, does this thing even work? The goal is just to figure out if you're on the right track and if people want what you have to offer. Now, in order to do that, there are some different projects I'd recommend you do. The first thing you need to do is make that first offer. Is your business idea still not working out? If so, you need to make something that people can buy and see if they like it. It's your first big project because you're going to make that thing. What else should I do? Another thing I should work on is getting my beta users to become my first customers. You should think about what your goals should be now. We're not going to get very technical about how to do this, but that's your second project, your second goal. It will be your third option to keep going back to. Because when you're testing something out, there's always a chance that it's head or tails. There's also a chance that your test works out and you find out that people want what you have to offer. But there's also a good chance that you'll earn that people don't. You'll have to keep making things and trying to sell them until you find something that people really want. Once you finish that, the last thing you should work on in this phase is getting testimonials, because that will make building your sales system a lot more effective. This is what you might do. There are also specific goals for this year for you to work on too. The validation stage doesn't need to last a whole year. It doesn't even need to be that long. For now, these may be goals for the first few months of the year. Getting to know your customers and what they want is the first thing you should do. And then secondly, to earn your first $1,000, the process of testing your business idea, it normally involves creating a product and then trying to sell it, and has two main outcomes. One is the actual money you earn when you try to sell your product, and then secondly, everything that you will learn through the process of trying to sell your product. You find out that certain types of people are interested and other types of people who are not interested. You find out that when you say certain things, people respond. They somehow answer you. They talk back. They say things that they're interested, and they pull out their credit card and buy. And that when you say other things, you just hear crickets. So those are your two goals you really need to work through to be able to move past the validation stage. The next stage is the sales system. In building your business, this is the second big phase. I can tell you about 2 or 3 big parts of the process, but there are many ways to break it down. We could break it down into 6 steps or 12 steps. As of right now, These three are all we're paying attention to because this is good for setting goals. So the second big thing you need to think about is how you sell. So in this phase, you're working on making your marketing and sales system work better for you and your business. In the validation stage, you were working on generating sales, but you were doing it in a very hands-on, grassroots way. You were talking to people not only because you wanted to make the highest percentage of sales and have the highest conversion rates, but also because you needed to look at them in the eye and hear what they say back to you. As your business grows, though you don't want to work for every single sale. So you want to build some marketing and sales systems so that you can grow with your business with. These are systems that can run in the background of your business and that your team can run for you. They can also make sales around the clock even if you're not at your desk. One thing you need to do here is to get the information you got from the validation stage. This is what you need. In this phase, you'll work on these projects. You'll start by trying out different ways to get people to your business. For example, you might start a YouTube channel and see how well it works for getting people to your business. You might write blog posts and try to get them to show up on Google, or you might start a Facebook ad campaign. You need to try a lot of different ways to get people to your business, and you need to find one that works well for you. To make sales and make money, you need to have a lot of leads coming in. That's why you need traffic to your website. It would come from word of mouth or from a search engine, but you need to find a traffic plan that works. And then you'll work on a second big project, such as building funnels, which is a lot of work. And there is a process that leads people from hearing about your business to making a purchase. In this example, someone who visits your website and signs up for an email account could get a series of emails from you that offer your product for sale for a certain amount of time, right? In that case, you could have a dozen or so emails that are sent out automatically. Some people think that's the only way to do this. That's not true at all. There is a funnel in every business. This is how people buy things. Even your local donut shop has sales funnel. When people drive down the road, they see their sign for the donut shop and they become interested. So one day, they stop in. They walk into the store, they smell the great smell of a donut. So, as they start to get excited about buying a donut, they look at the pretty ones in the cases. Finally, they're ready to buy the thing. So, they walk up to the cash register and hand over the money. People say, "I want that one," right? That's when the sale ends. And it's a sale funnel no matter how you look at it. It's either way. In fact, if you don't know what your sales funnel or business looks like yet, that's fine. You might still be in the validation stage. Besides, that might not be what you need to think about right now. Either, as soon as you make sales in your business, you might be frustrated that you're not seeing more and more sales every month. It's very likely that you don't know what your sales funnel looks like right now. So, you can't increase your traffic or conversion rates to make more sales because you can't think about how to do that. In this phase of your business, you'll want to set monthly revenue goals and then keep meeting them. These are some projects you might work on. So, this will be different for each business, but you'll want to know how much money I'm making right now. You can then set a goal for where you want to be at the end of the year and work on the increasing number by pulling those levers all year long. Finally, we've got the business growth stage of operational systems, which are used to run the business. So this stage is all about keeping or increasing your income while cutting back on your working hours and expenses. That's what you want to do in general, right? That's how you see the operational system stage in your mind. You have a steady flow of money coming in at this point because you have passed the sales system stage. But you might spend a lot of time working on your business, which means your costs might be high. So what you want to do is keep or grow your revenue at the same time as cutting down on your working hours or expenses. It's not very hard to do. Some of these tasks will help you build your team. Specifically, you might already have a virtual assistant, a video editor, a social media manager, and so on. You need to add more people to your team and make it more like a whole. There should be an operations manager or business manager, as well as an interrogator who is in charge of the people and projects, so that you don't have to do that because that takes a lot of time. There are a lot of things that you can do in your business, like making strategic decisions or do the things that are most important. How to run a business isn't something you can ever fully master. Even the world's biggest businesses are still in the operational system stage, where they're working to keep and increase revenue while cutting down on their working hours and expenses. Another project you'll work on is on delegating. So, it's not just about hiring people, it's also about effectively taking things off your plate and giving them to other people and teaching them how to do things well so that you don't have to do them yourself. There are also standard operating procedures or SOPs, which is what they're called. Basically, you're making a guide to how to run your business so that you can more easily and effectively build out your operational systems in the future. Now, this way, you can more easily and effectively delegate things and grow your team so that you don't have to train each new member of your team one-on-one. Your operational system phase goals are to improve efficiency, make your team happier, and make more money. You might not be able to do all three in 1 year, but you might focus on one for the whole year. Or you could try to make each of them a little bigger. But those are some things you could work on. Okay, so that covers the 3 business phases. And most of these things they weren't strictly numbers, goals, or number projects, right? They weren't about just increasing your revenue, but they were all oriented towards increasing your revenue, right? That was the kind of the purpose of all these projects.